Do you know what is an email marketer's biggest challenge? Getting emails to land in the inbox and not spam. In other words, email deliverability. Hi, I'm Helena, and in this video, I'm going to discuss this particular aspect of email marketing and how you can ensure better inbox placement of your emails. To give you a better context, let me explain with an example. Imagine writing a good email copy and perfecting its design. But after you hit send, it lands in the spam folder of the recipient, never to be read. No wonder this is a nightmare that haunts email marketers. As per a report by Return Path, 1 out of 5 emails never reach their intended inbox because of deliverability issues, which means all your hard work goes in vain, aka the spam folder. So it's essential that deliverability is your top priority while you're planning your email marketing campaigns. Before we go into detail about boosting deliverability, there's one little confusion that I'd like to address. Many budding email marketers use delivery and deliverability interchangeably, but that's not correct. As the name suggests, email delivery shows how many emails got delivered to the recipients, while deliverability tells you if they got placed in the recipient's inbox or not. But the question is there a way to guarantee that your emails land in your inbox for sure? This is the mystery that we're trying to solve with this tutorial. And to answer the previous question, let me be honest, nobody can promise 100% deliverability. However, there are ways which you can ensure that your emails reach the inbox. To do this, you need to understand why deliverability is important to mailbox providers. Your recipients are the customers or users of the mailbox providers, and no one wants to provide a bad experience to their users. So naturally, mailbox providers try their best to protect their users from unwanted emails, which, by the way, is the textbook definition of spam emails. For this, mailbox providers deploy something called spam filters that ensure only legit emails reach the inbox of their users. Any email that looks suspicious, or as we might say spammy, is banished to the spam folders. So to crack deliverability, you should know what makes your emails look suspicious to these spam mailbox providers and avoid those things. But for that, you first need to know what those things are. To begin with, one such factor is the historical end user response. How subscribers have previously engaged with your emails has a major impact on a mailbox provider's perception. For example, if your domain has a reputation for sending spam, your emails will eventually start landing in the spam folder on their own. Secondly, email authentication has a huge impact on deliverability. Email authentication verifies if an email is not a forgery and is indeed from the source it's claiming to be from. Authentication protocols like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC help do this. SPF shows that the IP is authorized, while DKIM shows that the message is authentic and not tampered with. DKIM thus provides an additional level of security to a domain to prevent misuse. Next, email infrastructure also contributes to your deliverability score. For example, the kind of IP you use. If you have a dedicated IP, it means the IP is only designated to send your emails, making it exclusive and independent. Naturally, a dedicated IP will give you more control to manage your domain reputation. On the other hand, a shared IP, as the name suggests, is shared between you and other IDs as well. So their email activities and domain reputation will also impact your deliverability metrics. Obviously, getting a shared IP is cost effective. So before making a choice between dedicated and shared IP, weigh in all your requirements carefully. Now that we know what are the major factors that affect deliverability, let's find out how you can track it. To be honest, no tracking tool gives you the exact measure of deliverability, but the good news is that you can definitely understand the trend. Initially, you can carry out a simple exercise. Before sending out your campaigns, try sending your first few emails to a small batch, say 100 IDs. Based on how many inboxes your first email lands in, you will have a clear idea about your deliverability score, which you can then optimize. Alternatively, you could also use inbox trackers. Some of the prominent inbox trackers are eDataSource, Return Path, Inboxable, and Newton. Now that we're talking about deliverability tools, we must talk about Google Postmaster as well. Google Postmaster is a free tool that gives you a comprehensive overview of your complete email health. It provides a dashboard for checking domain reputation, IP reputation, spam rate, and even updates on authentication protocols, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and TLS. It also shows delivery errors and reasons for failure. Moreover, it also has FBL or feedback loop that allows high-volume senders to identify campaigns with a high volume of complaints from Gmail users. So setting up your Google Postmaster could be a great way to keep a tab on the many factors that impact deliverability. Apart from these, there are other things to do as well. The most important one of those is a proper warm-up of your sender domain. To put it simply, domain warm-up is the practice of building a reputation for your email domain. Now, you all must know of a good credit score, right? Even a good credit score requires the backing of multiple good transactions carried out consistently. Similarly, warming up a domain needs consistent, positive engagement from users and carefully controlled volumes of email. The basic way to do this is by sending a limited number of emails only to those subscribers who are active. You can increase the volume gradually. We suggest increasing the volume by a factor of 1.5. Another practice that can positively impact your deliverability rate is maintaining good list hygiene. You don't want to be sending emails to those people who don't want it, because if you do, they will either keep it unopened, move it to the trash bin, or mark it as spam. This means your deliverability will dip. You should also remove the IDs of those who have unsubscribed. This practice is called sunsetting, and you can build rules called sunset policy to decide who and when to sunset. Similarly, email bounces due to invalid IDs and unsubscribes too have a negative impact. So you need to trim down your list by filtering out inactive and invalid IDs before you send out any campaigns. Ultimately, everything about deliverability comes down to one question. Are you sending the right emails to the folks who have given you consent for it? If you can be mindful of the recipient's needs and curate a good email experience for them, your deliverability in all its metrics will automatically fall into place. See you in the next video where we'll talk about segmenting your email list. Until then, happy emailing.